Inihahandog ng Philippine Air Force at ng himpilang ito ang programang gagabay tungo sa kapayapaan ng bawat mamamaya at pag-unlad ng buong pamayanan. Usapang Pangkapayapaan, Usapang Pangkaunlaran.
Mayong adlaw sa tuta ng mga higala, kami po ang inyong Philippine Air Force, your air warriors and airlifters in the Visayas. At muli pong sumasayang papawid ang aming palatutunang Usapang Pangkapayapaan, Usapang Pangkaunlaran Cebu. Gamit ang kusog na signal sa tulo ka partner namon na radio stations diri sa Cebu City. Daghan kayong salamat kay Ma'am Annabella Grosas of DYMR 576 kHz Radio Pilipinas, kay Sir Jonix Napalyakan of DYLA 909 kHz, kay Sir Jemry Biosa ng DYAR Sunshine Radio, kay Ma'am Payet Renyan and Ma'am Hazel Gloria ng PIA 7 sa pagtabang sa among programa karong adlaw. Ako po inyong host, First Lieutenant Edebert B. Baguio, Philippine Air Force, at kasama ang aking mga co-host na sina Staff Sergeant Anne Francis M. Tompong, Philippine Air Force, and Airwoman Yasmin Saladar, Philippine Air Force.
Muli, isang mapagpalang araw para sa ating lahat, lalo na sa ating mga libo-libong tagapakinig at taga-subaybay sa programang ito. Ang Usapang Pangkapayapaan, Usapang Pangkaunlaran Cebu. Tayo din po ay napapanood sa ating social media platform sa Facebook page ng 1000 BG Binayab, 1000 PAF, AMC Skylifters at ng Up Cebu. Ang programa pong ito ay para po sa ating pagnanais na maihatid ang mga impormasyon na may kinalaman sa pagsulong ng kapayapaan at kaunlaran sa ating bansang Pilipinas.
Let us also welcome our comrades from the Air Mobility Command, from the Philippine Air Force CMO Group, the 560 Air Base Group, the SSSP Cebu Chapter. Daghan kayong salamat for tuning with us and for supporting our program. Mga kasama, kinagalak po nating makasama ang ating resource person ngayong araw, si Mr. Rainier Manlegro, the Ecosystem Management Specialist 2 ng DENR 7. Sir, bumati po muna tayo, sir, sa ating pong mga tagapakinig at taga-subaybay.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Hopefully you're having a good day and healthy life, no? So hopefully we will have a healthy discussion today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Partner?
Sir, magandang hapon po, Sir Rainier Manlegro. Sir, sa unang katanungan lang po, sir, ano po yung ibig sabihin ng DNR at ano po yung mission and vision po nito, sir?
Okay. So the DENR is the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, no? So meron tayong vision, no? Sustaining our environment and a clean and healthy environment. And then yung mission natin, of course, to mobilize our citizenry in the conservation and preservation and management of our natural resources. So for the future and present generation na po yun. So lahat ng mga biodiversity natin, wildlife natin, and our protected areas, no? So meron tayong mga conservation efforts, preservation efforts, and management of those areas.
Sir, ano po yung pinahihiwatig, sir, ng padami na mga endangered species natin, sir?
Okay. So yung padami ng endangered species natin, parang factor yun, no? Or a sign of siguro yung kumukonti na lang yung mga natin, mga non-threatened. So ang problema nga lang doon, yung mga wildlife natin paubos. Yun lang yung problema natin sa mga ganyan.
Paano natin sila, sir, matanong ko lang, no? Kasi nabanggit nyo nga po kanina. Paano naman po natin ito, sir, pinipreserve? Like, yun na nga, di ba, may mga endangered species tayo. Paano natin ito pinipreserve para hindi tuluyang mawala talaga dito sa atin yung mga, like, yung mga wildlife natin, mga ganun, sir?
Okay. So, the DENR, no, meron tayong batas na nag-implement ng conservation and the protection of wildlife. So ito po yung tinatawag na Republic Act 9147 or the Wildlife Resources Conservation and Protection Act. And other environmental laws, no, na nagprotect ng environment natin. And of course, we have the protected areas wherein wildlife are being protected. We have critical habitats wherein wildlife have been protected. So meron din tayong mga timberland areas na kino-conserve natin yung wildlife so that free sila mag-breed, free sila magpadami, no? So, yun, marami silang pagkain. So, yung mga biodiversity natin, pina-conserve na talaga natin.
Okay, sir, we have a short break po muna, sir, no? Alang sa gamay na
Okay. Sige po.
We are your Philippine Air Force. 74 years of existence. Perhaps you have heard our stories. Fighter planes, guided missiles, smart bombs, drones, helicopters. There's no such thing as a day without air operations. But if you believe that we are defined by the aircraft that we fly, the technology that we use, or the perceived boldness of our airmen and airwomen, then you don't know us. We exist because of our ardent love for this country. We exist because someone must watch our skies. We exist because of you. The Filipino people is the reason for our existence. It is your support for the development of our core systems. It is your push for our modernization that will help us break the bounds, overcome the challenges set before us. The engine that will push the limits towards the edge of the envelope. We are glad to be in the service for the Filipino people. We swore and pledged to fulfill our duties and, if necessary, pay the ultimate sacrifice. This is your Philippine Air Force.
Okay, balik na to. Kauban pagyapon nato si Sir Manlegro ng EMC specialist ng DENR 7 alang sa mga additional na announcement na gikan sa ilahang agency. Partner?
Sir, to continue po sa ating next question, sir. Sa mga nakalipas na taon po, sir, mayroon na po bang tayong mga wildlife na natanggal po sa endangered species list po, lalo na po dito sa Cebu area po, sir?
Okay, unfortunately, no, walang masyadong wildlife na wala na sa endangered. Yung nawala na, non-threatened na. But mostly, ang problema nga lang natin, meron tayong mga, yung na-endangered na wildlife noon, naging critically endangered na. Meron tayong ganyan sa Negros, yung Visayan Tariktik Hornbill natin. Pero yung tarsier sa Bohol, I think it has been downgraded but wala pa sa sa IUCN natin yung ginagamit natin sa parameters for conservation status. So I think magda-downgrade na siya kasi marami daw mga sightings na ng mga tarsiers natin, no? So hopefully na nag-grow na yung population nila and then they are thriving, no? para madadami sila kasi noon kasi yung conservation status noon endangered. So hopefully maging vulnerable sila ngayon. But most of the wildlife, that are here in Central Visayas are still on endangered list, like the Cebu Black Shama. Though we have efforts on the Cebu Black Shama, even the provincial government has, they call the project that Siloy Watch. So every year sila magpupunta doon sa Alcoy para mag ng bird counting ng Siloy or the Cebu Black Shama. But hopefully with programs like this, we can reach out to many people, to our countrymen, that we have to protect our wildlife. We have to protect them from poaching, from killing those wildlife, na wala namang dahilan. And of course, reforestation is one of the factors for reducing, no, sa mga wildlife natin. So hopefully yung mga efforts na gagawin natin, like tree planting and protecting the environment and etc. Hopefully ma-preserve pa natin and ma-downgrade yung mga endangered species natin.
Sir, tama po ba? Kasi ngayon ko lang narinig yun sa iyo, sir, yung Cebu Black Shama. Sir, ano po ba to? Isang uri ng ibon? Tama po ba, sir?
Yes po, yes po. Cebu Black Shama is endemic to Cebu, no? So sa Cebu lang siya makikita. And it's already endangered. No? So that's why Cebu government, Cebu provincial government are helping the DENR to protect those wildlife, no? So that siguro hopefully na hindi mag-extinct, no, in the near future.
What about, sir, ang eagle, sir? Hindi pa naman siya endangered, sir, dito sa atin.
Ano po?
Yung eagle, sir, eagle.
Okay. So there are eagles, no, that can we siguro makita dito sa Cebu. Yung eagles natin na makikita siguro hawk eagles and serpent eagles, no. Philippine eagle siguro makikita sa ano lang sa Mindanao, even in Samar, Leyte and Luzon, no, there are Philippine eagles there. But in Cebu there are Philippine serpent eagle, no, yung mas maliit, like those Brahminikites. We have hawk eagles na mas malaki-laki, pero there are on threatened list, no. Threatened, when you call it threatened, there are subcategories of threatened species. So meron tayong critically endangered, the endangered, the vulnerable, and the the other threatened species. Then yung mga non-threatened po, yun lang po makikita natin na mostly na common na mga birds. There are non-threatened, but they are also protected by the government. They are also protected by RA 907.
Okay, sir. Sir, saan po ba ang mga wildlife preservations dito sa Cebu, sir?
Excuse me po.
Sir, saan po ang mga wildlife preservations dito sa Cebu, sir?
Okay po. So dito sa Cebu, meron tayong mga tabunan forest, which is we can find in Cantipla, no, near Cantipla. We have in Cantipla and other barangays, no, in central Cebu. We call it the Central Cebu Protected Landscape, no. It's a protected area, no. Some they call it TCH, no. So TCH, yung doon sa TCH, meron tayong meron tayong preservation area doon, no? Meron tayong mga forested areas pa doon, no, that we are releasing our wildlife, no. Meron tayong rescue, tapos release natin doon. And there are existing wildlife na andun pa rin, no. So hopefully yung protected area natin sa Cebu ma-preserve natin, no. And we are very fortunate, no, in Central Visayas, because we have the biggest protected area in the Philippines, like the Tanyan Strait Protected Seascape, no. It's the sea between Cebu and Negros, no? So those are the wildlife sanctuaries, no, that we are very proud of, like the Olango Island Wildlife Sanctuary, no. So in Olango, in Lapu-Lapu City, so we still have those areas where we can see wildlife that are free, no. They're breeding, they're feeding. So hopefully, by protecting those areas, we can also protecting the wildlife that are living in those areas.
Paano po natutulungan ng environmental preservation at wildlife protection, sir, yung pag-unlad at yung development, sir, dito sa ating bansa, sir?
Okay. So that's why the DENR is promoting what we call sustainable development, no. So example of sustainable development, like ecotourism, no. We have tourism, we have mass tourism, no. Normal yung mass tourism, like we call it Boracay, no? Mass tourism, maraming pupunta doon. But when you say ecotourism, no, so it's a win-win solution for the environment and for the people, no, like economy and the environment. Why ecotourism? Ecotourism has many guidelines. Like in Olango, we have weighing capacity, no. Ilan lang yung pwedeng makapasok. We have numbers na pwede lang makapasok doon, no? So we don't exceed those numbers because it might ruin the environment, no? So the more the people, the more the pollution, no? The more the people, the more the garbages, no? So we have those efforts, no, in ecotourism. So that's why the answer for development is sustainable development.
Okay, we have another break po muna tayo, sir, no? Para sa gamay ng mga pahinam doon, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Mga katropa, alam mo ba na ang DWD 1134 kHz AFP radio ay ang opisyal na radio station ng sandatahang lakas ng Pilipinas na binubuo ng Army, Navy at Air Force na siyang maghahatid sa inyo ng mga balita mula sa ating Armed Forces at iba pang impormasyon. Mga katropa, hanapin at ilike kami sa Facebook, Twitter at YouTube. DWD AFP Radio, ang boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Kauban pagyapon nato atong guest from DNR 7, partner.
Yes, partner. Sir, to continue with our questions and answer, Sir, paano naman po makakatulong ang community, sir, sa mga advocacies ng DENR with regards to environmental preservation and wildlife protection, sir?
Okay. So actually the DENR are deputizing, no? Nag-deputize kami ng mga wildlife enforcement officer, no? So in urban rural barangays, no, meron tayong mga barangay LGUs na deputize tayo, no, sa DENR so that they can help in protecting the environment. At the same time, no, in the wildlife enforcement officer, no, na training for deputation or paralegal training for deputation, there they will learn all the laws, no, by the DENR. Not only wildlife, forestry laws, no, protected area laws. So there are a lot of environmental laws, and then we tend to lecture them or more on procedural law, no? So kung paano kung meron silang mahuli, ganyan. So dinedeputize natin sila, no, sa mga rural areas. We also have mostly IEC, no? IEC, sabi la IEC, information, education campaign on, I think everywhere, no? Everywhere in the Philippines, ano nangyari yan, no? So we also have like this one, no? I'm very thankful, the DNR is very thankful for the Philippine Air Force, no? for giving us this opportunity to reach out, no, to those people na hindi tayo na naririnig. Because marami siguro silang ginagawa, but they are very siguro avid listener of this program. So I think this is a platform for us, no, to reach out to them, and dami tayong mga programs na ginagawa to protect our environment.
Yes, partner.
Follow-up question ko lang, sir. Sir, saan po pwedeng dalhin, sir, yung mga natagpuan or yung mga na-recover naming mga wildlife? Lalo na po yung mga nasa endangered species list po, sir. Katulad, okay, sir, nung sir, yung natagpuan po, sir, na baboy na po sa Mount Apo.
Okay. So we have marami tayong mga turnover. We call it turnover wildlife. No? Every DNR office has a rescue center, no? But dito sa Cebu, we are very fortunate din kasi meron tayong Regional Wildlife Rescue Center. So, lahat ng turnover na wildlife, either may sakit or injured or siguro na rescue lang, no? You can call the DNR, no? And then we will rescue those wildlife. Dadalhin natin sa rescue center, i-rehabilitate natin, no? And then after rehabilitation, we will release it back to the wild. If it's indigenous or endemic to the Cebu, then we will release it back to the wild, no? If it's not like the exotic wildlife, we call it birds, yung mga Burmese python and other exotic species, no? Magre-retain lang yan sa Wildlife Rescue Center, no? Unless if merong mag-adapt ng mga zoo, but we cannot bring it back to the wild because we call it introduction or introduced wildlife. So those endangered wildlife that are endemic and indigenous, dadalhin natin sa rescue center before releasing it back to the wild.
Sir, ano naman po sir yung mga batas sir na nagpapatupad ng environmental preservation at wildlife protection sir?
So mga batas po, no? So we have the first, I already mentioned it a while ago, the Republic Act 9147 or the Wildlife Resources Conservation and Protection Act. We have the NIPAS Act or the National Integrated Protected Area System, which is the 7586, but was amended yung 7586 now 11038 na yun. So expanded NIPAS na yun. And then we have the PD 705, the Presidential Decree 705, which is the forestry law. No? So lahat ng mga forestry na mga matters andun. Kung pwede, anong puputulin, anong pwede maputol, anong hindi pwede maputol. No? So yun ang PD 705. Then we have the Cave Act. No? So we just remember that lahat ng cave, even inside the private property, na cave is owned by the government. No? It's owned by the state. So we call it the 1972, Republic Act 9072. And of course, we have the Environmental Management Bureau Acts, no? So yun yung solid waste management. Kasi if na-manage natin yung solid waste natin, walang pollution, then healthy yung environment natin. Maraming wildlife, mabuti yung biodiversity, no? So we have the Clean Air Act, we have the Water Act, no? So we have, I think, approximate maybe 20 plus na environmental laws that we are implementing by the DENR to protect, of course, the biodiversity and the wildlife of the Philippines.
Sir, sino-sino naman po yung mga naging partner agency niyo, sir, para maisagawa ninyo ang inyong mga programa po, sir, sa DENR po?
Yes. We have partner, no, with the AFP. We also partner with Philippine Air Force, no, mostly on coastal cleanup and then tree planting, no. So we have AFP, we have Coast Guard, we have partnered with non-government organization, even academics, no. We are partners, no. We are open for any partners that would help us in protecting the wildlife, the environment, and conservation, no? Siguro also in tree planting and cleanup, river cleanup, and coastal cleanup. No? So we have partnered most of the organizations, no, that are willing to help the environment.
Okay, dumako naman po tayo sa ating mga bisita, sir, no? Ngayong araw. Unahin ko po yung members ng SSSP Cebu chapter. Baka meron silang follow-up question kay sir. Alam ko, malapit na yung kanila nito eh. Yung schedule na coastal cleanup activity sa Cordoba. Baka meron kayong follow-up question kay sir? Ma'am Jeremy?
Ako, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Since
Ma'am.
we are a student organization, sir, do you have any recommendations, sir, sa mga project recommendations, sir, na gagawin namin, sir, ba, aside from coastal cleanup or tree planting, sir, na magagawa namin, sir?
Okay.
Protect the wildlife, sir.
Yes. Why not, no? You can siguro most in knowledge building, no? So like today we're discussing about wildlife. Maybe if you will have a chance, no, to extend your knowledge with regards to wildlife, you can call us, no, for a orientation, and then so that you can impart it to other people, no, so other citizens, no, para at least ma-aware lahat na lahat ng wildlife talaga sa Philippines are very important, no, in the in in our environment, no? Kasi meron silang role like yung birds may role para makapag tree planting, no? Kasi so far, no, based on statistics, like if mag-tree planting tayo, maybe 30% lang siguro to 60% yung mag-grow talaga, no, na tree. But if yung galing sa sa mga birds natin, no, sa mga bats natin na mga seeds, pag na-disperse nila yon, 70 to 90% mag-grow talaga yung mga seeds, no, na ano nila sa ground, no? So yun, mag-extend yung forested areas natin, then it would be conducive for the wildlife. So sa inyo po, we are very willing if you want to join us, no, if you want to join us and reach out, no, sa mga tao with regards to knowledge building of the wildlife. Choppy po. Choppy po.
Medyo putol-putol po yung boses mo, Ma'am Jeremy. Pakiulit. Ano yung question? I-chat na lang daw po niya, sir. Ma'am, baka meron kang follow-up question kay sir.
Hello, Sir Rainier Manlegro. Good afternoon po. Wala po
Yes,
akong question, pero natanong na po kasi ni Jera. And since meron po kami upcoming na coastal cleanup, and yung regarding po sa tree planting is wala pa po. And as you have said earlier na willing po kayo ma-accept ng mga volunteers if ever meron pong mga tree planting ang gagawin po ang DENR 7. So kami din po, sir, willing din po kami mag-volunteer, and para din po yun sa atin, sir, diba? Napagpanahon po, lalo na po ngayon na medyo tagilid po yung natin, yung kung pag-uusapan po yung kalikasan po, ganun. So, if ever po, sir, na meron po kayong mga event, paano po kami makipag-communicate po sa inyo, sir? Mag-ano po ba kami? Or kailangan po natin?
You can reach out, ma'am. You can reach us, ma'am, sa telephone number, no, ng Regional Public Affairs Office ng DENR. Or you can write to our director anytime, no? Pwede din kayo mag-write ng intention nyo, no, na you want to help in the tree planting or coastal cleanup or mga projects ng DENR, no? So that everybody should be proactive, no, sa lahat ng mga conservation efforts din natin. And we are very pleased that you are willing to help the DENR, and hopefully na magkikita din tayo, no, in the near future.
Basahin ko lang yung sa chat message, sir, no? Can you recommend activities for us to protect the wildlife aside from tree planting and coastal?
Okay. So that's what I told a while ago, no? Pwede tayong pwede din siyang pag-deputize mo ng wildlife enforcement officer, because as deputized wildlife enforcement officer, you can help in protecting the wildlife, no? Kasi meron tayong mga modules, no, na kung paano natin ma-identify yung wildlife, no? And then at the same time mag-knowledge building, no, para sa rural areas kung meron tayong mga kakilala, meron tayong mga so you can help the DENR, no, sa pag-discuss ng mga wildlife protection. So wildlife, meron din tayong wildlife rescue center. You can visit the wildlife rescue center, and then siguro we can help in whatever way, no, sa ating wildlife. Kasi meron tayong mga problema nga lang natin doon is meron tayong mga wildlife doon like monkeys, no, the Philippine macaques na hindi na natin ma-release back to the wild since iba na yung iba na yung behavior nila, no? So hindi na sila pwedeng mag-hunt kasi hindi na sila marunong. So there are in the wildlife rescue center natin, and yun pwede tayong mag-help dun kung ano yung pwede natin magawa.
Sir, may message lang no, sa chat box. Basahin ko lang sir from Archie Martinez. Isa po ito sa SSSP Cebu Chapter Officers. Sir, good afternoon. May tanong ako. If magkakandak po kami ng webinar, makakakuha ba kami ng mga available na speaker para sa webinar activities namin na related sa DNR? Thank you.
Yes po. Anytime po. Huh? You can contact the Regional Public Affairs Office po, or the director, no? So they will be the one to give you speakers for whatever environmental laws that you want to learn.
Okay, thank you, sir. No? Any other questions from our participants?
Sir, follow-up lang question po sa kanina. Yung kung magkakaroon po kami ng tree planting or mangrove tree planting, sa inyo po ba kami manghihingi ng seedlings?
Yes po. The DNR will provide all the seedlings if you want to conduct tree planting. No? Just coordinate with the DNR, no? Or you can write to the DNR ano yung mga intentions, no? And the DNR will provide you the seedlings, even the area, no? Kung saan kayo gusto mag tree planting.
Sir, tanong ko lang, saan po ba yung possible area dito, sir, na for tree planting?
Mostly yung tree planting natin ginagawa natin sa mga protected areas po natin, no? So dito sa Cebu, meron sa may yung Tabunan Forest, no? Kasi may mga areas pa din doon na kailangan natin mag tree planting so that mag-extend pa yung forested areas natin. So meron tayo dyan. And then meron din tayong mga mangrove areas, no? Not only in our terrestrial, we also have our shoreline, no? Na kailangan mag-planting tayo ng mangrove so that mas resilient tayo when typhoon comes, no? So meron din tayong mga ganyan. No? It depends on you kung saan you gusto mag-tree planting. Or you can join us, no? Like next month, it would be the Environment Month, no? It's Philippine Environment Month, no? Next month, so you can write to the DNR, no? Na intention mo mag-join ng tree planting or anong mga activities ng DNR, no? So that everybody, no? So everybody can join, no? Yun. So pwede din ganun.
Siguro ang kinay, sir, yung mga illegal loggers, saka yun yung mga yung mga chainsaws, yun,
Yes.
sa mga kanila, sir.
Yes po, meron pa din po. Meron pa din tayong mga nahuhuli na mga unregistered chainsaw, no? Ang problema nga lang ngayon is meron tayong mga online na mga seller ng chainsaw na hindi po pwede ma-register kasi walang serial number yung chainsaw. So it's illegal already, no? So meron tayong tinatawag na RA 9175, no? The Chainsaw Act, no? So mostly kasi pag merong chainsaw, merong putol talaga, no? So that's why we have to register all the chainsaws. Ano bang use ng chainsaw? Diba? Kasi pagputol ng kahoy. So yun. And then we still have records, no, of illegal logging. We call it illegal logging because wala silang permits na pumutol. Mostly pinuputol na. We call it illegal logging because napuputol sila ng kahoy sa mga timberland areas natin. So timberland areas are government, no? Government owned, no? So hindi po pwede 'yon unless if it's private, no? Puputulin nila, pwede lang maputol as long as they have a tree cutting permit, no? And then we have transport permit, no? Ganyan. Yung iba, yung mga illegal loggers natin, pinuputol nila yung kahoy doon sa mga timberland areas natin. Kaso lang, mabigat daw. So yun, hindi nila hinihila, ginagawa nilang charcoal, no? So most of the interdiction activities natin happen in mayroon tayong mga checkpoints, no? Ganyan. So meron tayong mga information like meron tayong mga wildlife enforcement officer, no? Deputized, no, nandun sa rural area. So mostly of the WIO or DENRO na tinatawag natin deputized, they call us for information, then we'll be the one to apprehend those illegal traders, no, of wildlife, illegal logging, no, illegal cutting, no, and illegal transport of lumber, no, and charcoal products.
Sir, follow-up ko lang. Yung mga na-apprehend po ninyo ng mga ganitong mga concern instances, yung mga kahoy nito, sir, saan po napupunta, sir?
Okay. So yung mga kahoy, meron tayong mga lumber yard. Or dito sa Cebu, meron tayong CENRO, no, or the Community Environmental Resources Office, yung sa Pier 3, no. So doon yun ini-deposit, no. Okay? And then after sa case, no, kasi meron tayong dalawang procedure, no. It's either criminal or administrative, no? So administrative mo, fines lang mo, bayad sila sa ano. And then after the administrative procedure, after the after nung kaso may decision na, we will release it, no? Or we will donate it to other government agencies po, no? So mostly ang naka-benefit, meron tayong Coast Guard, meron tayong yung iba yung mga firewood, no? Dinodonate natin sa BGMP kasi panggatong ng mga ano nila, no? Like ngayong Odette, no? Ang daming napuputol, no, ng mga kahoy. So yun, dinodonate natin sa mga ibang government agencies, no, para magawa din ano. Meron din tayong sa DepEd, no, ginagawang desk ng mga schools natin. So even no other government AFP, you can write it. You can write a letter to the Senado if you need a lumber, no, na kailangan niyo sa kampo, no, the Philippine Air Force can reach out, no, can communicate with us, no, para mabigyan kayo ng mga ano, ng final confiscated na mga lumbers na nanahuli natin.
Wow, thank you, sir, for that information, sir. Any other follow-up questions sa mga participants and to my co-host?
Sir, may follow-up question lang po kay Sir Rainier po, sir. Sir, regarding po ito, sir, sa celebration po, sir, ng World's Environmental Day po, sir. Sir, meron po bang any preparations or activity na kinakandak po yung DENR po?
Yes po. Meron tayong mga preparation na ano ginagawa na for the World Environmental Month, no? It's a month, a whole month meron tayong activity. So every partner agencies like the Air Force, the Regional Public Affairs Office will send communication for you, no? And other government agencies, no? And other partner government agencies, no? Okay, no? And then it is also posted sa Facebook ng Central Visayas, no? So you can see all the activity, the whole month activity. And if you want to participate anytime, no, you can call the DENR or you can communicate with us.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon.
Sir Rainier, good afternoon, sir.
Yes po.
Sir, may katanungan lang ko, sir. Ito, sir, connection sa election, sir. Sir, ang DENR ba ang lead agency in the implementation of plan backlash ng mga campaign posters and paraphernalia, yung mga nilalagay sa mga puno, sir? At
Yes.
saan ba to ang mga poster, sir? Saan lang ba dapat ilalagay, sir, yung mga designated area?
So thank you for reminding us. Actually, kanina lang, no? Galing lang kami ng Operation Backlash ng DENR, no? So the DENR, because of the Republic Act 953, no? So bawal put ng nails, no, yung pako sa mga kahoy, yung mga wire, no, alambre, na pwede lang yung mga straw pwede. Pero yung wires na masusugatan yung kahoy, hindi po pwede yan. So lahat ng mga kahoy na pinapako, no, it's under RA 953, no? So bawal magpako ng mga campaign materials sa lahat po ng kahoy, no? So yun, so nag-ooperate kami, no? We call it the Operation Backlash, no? So nag-implement yan DNR mostly, but we also have coordination with the COMELEC and PNP and other concerned agencies, no?
Hi, sir. Good afternoon po. I am Shangel Paler from the Supreme Student Council Society of the Philippines, Cebu chapter. I'd like to ask, sir, what are your programs sa DNR na kayang suportahan ng mga youth organization po?
Okay. So as I've said, no, we have activities, no, upcoming activities this coming June for the Environment Month, no? So we have tree planting, we have the river cleanup. Everyone can join, no? We have coastal cleanup, no, and other activities like SEPA, no, communication education, no. So pwede din sa ganyan, no, na para at least for our students, no, yung mga younger generations, you know, that you can, if whatever na ma-learn nyo sa DNR, no, if you want to also mo, no, go deeper, no, so ano yung talaga yung mga gawain sa DNR, you can ask for the DNR to orient you, and then so that you can re-echo sa mga younger generations. So those are the most of the programs that the DNR are promoting.
I see, sir. Sir, follow-up question ko lang. Sir, what are the trees na preferably or most recommended ng DNR na dapat i-plant ng mga tao na for planning to do tree planting activities?
Okay, so tree planting activities, no, pinopromote natin yung mga tinatawag natin na endemic and indigenous species of trees, no? Kasi noon, like mahogany, angemelina, there are exotic, no? Exotic trees yan, no? So yung mga fruits nila hindi kinakain din ng mga local or native natin na mga birds. And then eventually they can be called invasive alien species, no? So right now the DNR are promoting species of trees, no, that are endemic, no, dito lang sa Philippines makita, like of course we have Nara, we have the Molave, no, we have other species of trees, no, that we are promoting. Mostly meron nga tayong mga fruit bearing trees, so that it will help the community, no, na andun sa ano. So yun, we are promoting native, no, we call it native trees.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for answering my question. Yun lang po yung question ko, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, partner.
Bago po tayo magtapos sa ating programa ngayong araw, atin po munang hingan ng parting statement o message si Mr. Rainier Manlegro, Ecosystem Management Specialist 2, DNR 7. Sir, baka may additional announcement pa po kayo, sir?
Yes po. I think I've already said no enough. So I just want to emphasize that lahat ng environmental laws natin are very important, because they promote the conservation and protection of not just the wildlife, the trees, but also our own, no? Even human beings, no, are beneficiaries of a good and healthy environment, no? And hopefully we will learn, no? We will learn to adjust, no? So that for the future generation, I think if we can make a difference today, then I think it would be a much brighter future, no, for the next generation. Just like that, no? And reminding everybody, just go to the DNR Central Visayas Facebook, no, so that you can see all the activities that we are planning, no, for the next month, no? So and of course, I want to say thank you. Thank you for the Philippine Air Force, no, for giving us this opportunity to open our minds and reaching out to other people. And of course, to all the listeners, no, and the viewers of this program, I thank you so much. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, no, for that comprehensive information you shared to us. Sir, saludo po kami lahat sa ginagawa po ng DNR 7 sa programa na ginagawa po ninyo dito sa Central Visayas. Sir, hanggang sa muli po, sir. I'm looking forward to have a partner with the DNR sa mga future activities po ninyo. Mga kaibigan, sa ngalan po ng aming Commanding General Philippine Air Force, Lieutenant General Connor Anthony D. Canlas, Philippine Air Force.
At sa ngalan din po ng aming Commander, Air Mobility Command, Brigadier General Joanis Leonardi P. Di Maano, Philippine Air Force.
At sa ngalan din po ng aming Wing Commander, Tactical Operations Wing Central, Brigadier General Lito D. Villanueva, Philippine Air Force.
Ako po si First Lieutenant Edebert B. Baguio, Philippine Air Force, the Director for Civil Military Operations of Tactical Operations Wing Central.
Ako naman po si Staff Sergeant Anne Francis M. Tongtong, Philippine Air Force.
At ako naman po si Airwoman Yasmin C. Saladar, Philippine Air Force.
Maraming salamat po sa inyong suporta at pagsubaybay. God bless. At bye po tayong lahat and keep safe everyone.